I see all that too. I see all that too. I see it. I'm here in the building. Who am I? I'm glad you asked. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and I'm in the building by the grace of God here, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and our people of God here in Chicago and around the globe. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice right now. And you're hearing it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Some people call it every day, but we're here 1 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. right here on the UBM Radio Network. Now listen, we need all of you to keep joining in to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, catch us on our YouTube page, UBM Radio on YouTube. Why? I'm glad you asked. Listen, here's what we're doing. We're building our own solid core base of our own independent network of our own folk. Other people running around here getting us on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and all that's good. But at the same time, friends, we need you all to help us not just analyze, but we're here to organize, and that means our own base. And so we need 100 more of you who are seeing me and hearing me right now, because we got to prove that our people are not just listening, and you're not just being entertained, but you can follow and help us organize. And what we need is another 100 people to join in with us and go to our YouTube channel and join the UBM page, because that's where we're going to be broadcasting all of the solution-oriented works in our community on our YouTube channel. And we want you to be able to tune in, not just to Mark Allen's show and hear my voice, but hear all of the voices that are on this program and on this station. And even now, friends, and we'll talk more about it, but this is so important now. When you see one of the most important vehicles for community-based news that covers the black community on the south and west sides of Chicago and across this city was DNA Info. And DNA Info, out of nowhere, with the swoop of a pen, the owner just shut them down. And so I know how many hundreds and thousands of news stories that never would have got told, the good news that never would have gotten told had it not been for those black grassroots reporters who were at DNA Info, right? So now they shut it down, which is the reason why. Hear me, beloveds, here locally and around the country, that's just another real live reason why we should be supporting and sustaining our black-owned and operated independent news outlets. We've got to structure, focus, and position our black grassroots media outlets, because we got them. So just when you see a DNA Info that might shut down, and so at some point we can say, so what? Because we got the UBM network. We got the UBM news reporters. We got the UBM crew. We got a whole new generation, a current and new generation of young black and brown reporters that are now coming in that can tell the untold story right here at UBM. And somehow, we're not prophets, but we knew this day was coming, that this happens. And so, with the help of the Monroe Foundation, the Field Foundation and others, and UBM, Dr. Finney and all of us, we're now putting it together. Not that this day wasn't really coming, but it is here. But at least now, we've planted the seed, and we're ready to begin to launch our own narratives of color, which means, well, what is that, Mark? Well, I'm going to tell you. It means that we have the authority right here at UBM, right? On the day when they shut down DNA Info, that don't mean that those untold stories that are going on, the good news in the black and brown communities across this city, still don't have a vehicle where those stories can be told. And that's why we're so glad to still have this black-owned and operated independent news outlet right here in the heart of the black community, right here in the heart of Bronzeville, that we have the capacity right now to continue to tell our own stories. And that's why we need you to continue to support us in terms of what we're doing. It's why we need you to continue to support the works that we're doing at National Black Wall Street Chicago, as we, again, restructure, refocus, and reposition the works that we are doing. And so there's a lot going on in our communities every day, and we're glad that we're here to be able to offer you an independent analysis of what's going on every day. And don't have to wait for no other news outlet to legitimize whether or not you're all right. We're legitimate in our own right. And so with all of the programming that we have going on here, you all need to tune in. So we need all of you, and even more of you, that when this is over, we need you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the UBM Radio Network on the YouTube channel, because we're broadcasting every day, all day. And then those programs that you missed, you can still go back and get them and see all of the empowerment that is going on. Like for instance, if you just missed what was a powerful show, I was almost late getting here watching from my office trying to get down here. But to see Asha Butler and to see Sister Bettina Power in her Power Hour, who was talking about the empowerment that's going on in Inglewood, the transformation that's going on, and with this powerful sister, and to see the connection that's going on, right? And to see Asha Butler here, right, with Bettina Power and that Power Hour. But those kind of hours go on every day, on the day, about what's happening in our community. But we got to hear even more about what's going on in all these programs, because despite all the negatives that are going on, I know I say it all the time, it's dark all the time. There are people shooting, and there are people dying. You know, there are walking time bombs that are going on, that are walking throughout our communities, black and white, right? All over this country, right? Who are socially, politically, religiously, communally disconnected, and you know, they're walking around 3 generations of mentally ill, and so you can't stop 3 generations of walking time bombs. That I don't care if you put police on every corner, you can't stop a person who's already decided they ain't scared to die. You can't stop a person, right, who follows the rules on something positive, they didn't do something negative. But what you got to do, friends, you got to stay prayed up, and you got to stay connected for all of those entities that mean the good news. And so when you hear all of the bad news, as I mentioned, Sister Asha Butler was here with Bettina Power, listen, when you miss, there's more stories to tell about all of the good news that's going on each and every day, right? I don't care who get beat, I don't care who gets shot, I don't care whatever happened in Inglewood community and other communities. There's so much good news that's going on that you never would have heard had you were not just tuned in to the Empower Hour with Bettina Power. There's a more good news that's going on if you didn't hear my voice tell you about it, and there's so much more good news going on in our community. So once again, we need you to join in and join our YouTube page, join UBM Radio on YouTube, because we're broadcasting all the time. And you can always catch up on all of that that's going on. And so, like I said before, in Inglewood, there are people feeding the hungry. They're clothing the naked. They're looking out for the least of these. They're putting people in small business. They're fighting corporations. They're speaking truth to power. And they're building, 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 and planting new seeds every day. And you wouldn't know about it if you didn't have access to our own black-owned and operated UBM network. And so we're here to talk about it. So keep on listening and keep on watching and keep on sharing, because you never know. As much as you depended upon DNA info, you didn't know one day the man might shut it down when he felt like it, with the fruit of a pen. But we're here all the time, every day on the day, broadcasting live. And so we're here to talk about all of those that are going on. Let me dedicate part of the broadcast today. Once again, I look up. Sometimes I have to shut down. But I look up over the last few days, over the weekend, and yes, we've lost some more people to cancer. We've lost some more people to cancer that we should not have lost. There's some more people we have yet to be able to save if we don't help each other, reach out to each other. And so this is a ministry. What I call heaven on earth. This is a ministry. So we need you to be tuned in with us as we address these and other issues going on in our community. And we're here to talk about these and others as we move on. There's a lot going on that's happening this week, in the last few days in the governor's race. I will tell you all about it, in my opinion. There's a lot going on regarding the lack of intergenerational unity. We're going to talk about that. There's a lot going on with the dollars that are still being directed to our majority black communities that a lot of us still are not prepared for. And yet, and again, despite the challenges with DNA info, we're glad about the fact that Otis Monroe and the Monroe Foundation, through the Field Foundation and others here at UBM, we're going to be able to help launch, right? You know, our own independent youth news network with our narratives of color, where we'll still be able, when others shut down, we're still here with your help at UBM to help keep telling the untold stories of the good news that is going on in our black and brown communities across this city. We're still here to tell the good news. And yet, the work still has to be done. The work still has to be done, beloved, right here in the very communities that we live. Now, I'll tell you more about some other stuff that's coming up too. I see finally now that the Illinois National Guard is now being sent to Puerto Rico. Should have been done a long time ago, but they're there. We see that the Cook County Democratic Party has endorsed my frat brother, Captain Brother Kwame Raoul, qualified to be Attorney General for the state of Illinois. He's going to be slated. We're fighting, and not fighting, but I'm looking at some more news that veteran activist, businessman, millionaire businessman, Willie Wilson has once again stepped up his plans to run for mayor. What about that? And I've got something to say about that. I'm Mark Allen, veteran activist, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and we're here right now, 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m., right here on the UBM radio network, and we'll be back to hear my voice some more after these. I see all that too. I see all that too. I see it. I'm here in the building. Who am I? I'm glad you asked. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and I'm in the building by the grace of God here, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and our people of God here in Chicago and around the globe. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice right now, and you're hearing it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Some people call it every day, but we're here 1 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. right here on the UBM radio network. Now listen, we need all of you to keep joining in to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, catch us on our YouTube page, UBM Radio on YouTube. Why? I'm glad you asked. Listen, here's what we're doing. We're building our own solid core base of our own independent network of our own folk. Other people run around here getting us on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and all that's good. But at the same time, friends, we need you all to help us not just analyze, but we're here to organize, and that means our own base. And so we need 100 more of you who are seeing me and hearing me right now, because we got to prove that our people are not just listening, and you're not just being entertained, but you can follow and help us organize. And what we need is another 100 people to join in with us and go to our YouTube channel and join the UBM page, because that's where we're going to be broadcasting all of the solution-oriented works in our community on our YouTube channel. And we want you to be able to tune in, not just to Mark Allen's show and hear my voice, but hear all of the voices that are on this program and on this station. And even now, friends, and we'll talk more about it, but this is so important now. When you see one of the most important vehicles for community-based news that covered the black community on the south and west sides of Chicago and across this city was DNA info. And DNA info, out of nowhere, with the swoop of a pen, the owner just shut them down. And so I know how many hundreds and thousands of news stories that never would have got told, the good news that never would have gotten told had it not been for those black grassroots reporters who were at DNA Info, right? So now they shut it down. which is the reason why. Hear me, beloveds, here locally and around the country, that's just another real live reason why we should be supporting and sustaining our black-owned and operated independent news outlets. We've got to structure, focus, and position our black grassroots media outlets because we got them. So just when you see a DNA info that might shut down, and so at some point we can say, so what? Because we got the UBM network. We got the UBM news reporters. We got the UBM crew. We got a whole new generation, a current and new generation of young black and brown reporters that are now coming in that can tell the untold story right here at UBM. And somehow, we're not prophets, but we knew this day was coming, that this happens. And so, with the help of the Monroe Foundation, the Field Foundation and others, and UBM, Dr. Finney and all of us, we're now putting together. Oh Lord, Lord, come on with it. I'm in the building. Who am I? Oh, we're back. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and you're here once again in the midst of another Mark Allen show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice right now every day, 5 days a week, some call it Monday through Friday, but we're here on the UBM radio network. Now listen, friends, here locally and around the globe, what I need you all to do, start joining our page on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and join the UBM site on our broadcasting network. And what does UBM mean? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you. Listen, especially now when you see people like DNA Info, who so many of our stories could not be told across our city, north side, south side, west side, had not been for DNA Info. But then out of nowhere, DNA Info can shut down. And then now what do we do next? And the only reason that we're shocked and appalled is because we didn't do our own due diligence and have our own. With all due respect to DNA Info, we should have our own black-owned and operated media that can tell the story, what's going on in black and brown communities if DNA Info never existed. So here's what I'm saying to you. What does this mean when DNA Info shuts down and all that? Look, right here at Urban Broadcast Media, we are now uniquely positioned to create a viable, neighborhood-based news service that will focus primarily on our news from our own narrative. If it happens in Bronzeville, Hyde Park, Kenwood, Woodlawn, South Shore, Roseland, Back of the Yard, Pilsen, Logan Square, Humboldt Park, even Chinatown, watch it. We can be that voice. Now listen, we do, however, invite other reporters who cover these areas to be a part of our family here at Urban Broadcast Media. If you have a news story that you'd like to fit our format and can fit our audio and video, send that in to us. Where should you send it? I'm glad you asked. Listen, send it to that audio or video submission, because we got audio and video here, but send it to urbanbroadcastmedia@gmail.com. That's urbanbroadcastmedia@gmail.com. Friends, this is so important for all of us listening, because with all due respect to DNA Info, look, we've got to have our own, at the end of the day, our own black-owned and operated independent news outlet. We're here. And that's why we're working with the Monroe Foundation and the Field Foundation and others to have our own black-owned and operated independent news channel that can tell the good news that is going on in and around our communities all over town. So once again, if you, so don't get mad because it's dark, because DNA Info shut down. Be glad about the fact that there's a black-owned and operated independent news outlet that's here who can serve the same south and west sides and north side, that can tell the same good news. So come on, if you are one of those reporters that was with DNA, why don't you contact us? Send your story idea that you've got going on to urbanbroadcastmedia@gmail.com, urbanbroadcastmedia@gmail.com, and let's continue to grow our own black-owned and operated media outlet. Now listen, there's just so much going on, I mentioned before, that comes back to this again. Because even in this governor's race, these past few weeks, you've seen some of the candidates for governor, be it Pritzker and a head of representative for Governor Bruce Rauner, who contacted National Black Wall Street to say that Governor Rauner, once again, has on his agenda coming to the National Black Wall Street headquarters to do just like Pritzker did, to sit down with a cross-section of our black grassroots leaders and let us have a dialogue on our 10-point agenda, on where do you stand on the black economics of these campaigns. And so we're working on that as well. And we did raise the issue with the governor, because when he ran for governor, he was just an independent, businessman. But 3 years later, some people want to know from our community banking coalition, whatever happened to the $1 million that went to the Southside Community Federal Credit Union? Now the governor can ask or not answer, but the question is, 3 years later, people should be able to ask when you come some legitimate answers to a lot went into fighting for the Southside Community Federal Credit Union to get a $200,000 not interest-free, but unrestricted grant to help build this capacity, and not to mention $800,000 more that was allegedly supposed to go to micro lending, $500 to $5,000 to $50,000 micro business loans to help create, sustain, and increase black business in the black community. Just a fair question to ask in terms of accountability. And the same thing is coming up if other candidates finally decide they're going to go. And then there's one more issue. Some of these candidates think you only got to deal with the established black media. And with all due respect, and I even talked to Carl West today, who represents part of that coalition that represents the Defender and the Crusader and others. But now a lot of these campaigns, and I think Carl, we agree that just because these campaigns have reached an agreement to work with a coalition of established black media outlets, that don't stop there. Our fight continues, and I hope that there is a coalition of black grassroots media outlets so that these campaigns don't think that your level of campaign spending just stops when you reach one side of town or one class of our leadership or one level of black media. There are millions of other black and brown eyes that may never see those others, and you need to be able to be prepared to deal with them, right? You need to be able to deal with them, and we're going to deal with all of that and some more. I'm veteran activist, speaking to Carl West, guys, we'll see about it too, and another issue coming up on this intergenerational leadership, because I'm uniquely qualified to help do that. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and you're here Monday through Friday on the Mark Allen Show, 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Hear my voice some more on the UBM Radio Network.
The Chicago Original is on its way back. It's the return of Leon's Barbecue, 63rd and Harper.
Ricardo Muhammad, I see you. Corey Full, I see you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all. Keep on sharing.
Tasty Big back. Ribs, hot links, ring tips, wings, you name it, it's all back. If it's good enough for Oscar-winning actor Denzel Washington to talk about it, it's good enough to eat. Leon's Barbecue, returning November 22nd to 1528 East 63rd Street. Leon's Barbecue, accept no substitutes. UBM Radio, in conjunction with Metropolitan Apostolic Community Church, invites you to give to our efforts to help our neighbors in need in Puerto Rico, Florida, and Houston in the wake of the recent hurricanes. Bring your non-perishable items, clothing, and water donations to the Met, 4100 South King Drive, during normal business hours. Financial donations, visit www.themet41.org.
I can't see all the names. I can't see all the names that I used to.
Let us be our brother's keeper.
There's a lot going on and off, but we'll figure it out.
A message from the Met at UBM Radio. Let your voice
Let's get ready.
UBM Radio online at 312-754-4333. UBM Radio.
And we are back. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street, Chicago, right here on the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice right now, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m., right here on the UBM network. Listen, over and over again, we want all of you keep sharing, and growing the broadcast. But now, we want to build our own independent news base, so we need all of you. When you get off this program, we want you to do it and then tell others to go to our YouTube channel. And join the UBM Urban Broadcast Media Station on the YouTube channel, because we're going to be broadcasting live all the time, and shows that you can't get and you miss, you can still go back and get them. But I'm telling you, in the midst of what's just happened with DNA Info shutting down, we got to always be prepared. As good as DNA Info was, and as good as they did in providing so many outlets to a lot of grassroots black reporters, the black community still has to have, in a majority black city with a $50 billion consumer spending power, we're still supposed to have, at the end of the day, our own seed, our own base. You go in other communities, some of them don't care if DNA shut down. The Greek community, Latino community, they still got Asian community, they still got their own independent outlets, right? And so we have to be able to have the same thing. And so we want you to continue to help us build this urban broadcast media outlet, because we, right here, got all the facilities. We got the social media, we got the TV, we got the internet, we got the cable, we got all of the entities that are needed to be able to promote and sustain our own black-owned and operated outlet. That's why you hear all of these new shows that are now on UBM, representing all those, right? Because in addition, with all due respect to all of the good news that DNA Info could get, I was talking to a reporter the other day, and she was like, Mark, I'm overwhelmed. And this is before they shut down. That we get hit with so much stuff when it comes to good news in the neighborhood. Even those black reporters can keep up with all of the good news, and let's show you how much good news is going on in spite of the negative that ain't got no outlet. But you got an outlet now. You have an outlet now at the grassroots level, so I'm telling you right now. So wherever you are in this city, help us build. That's what urban broadcast media means to the fact that DNA Info has shut down. The black community still has its own black-owned and operated media outlet that can cover all the same stories and more. Whatever we uniquely positioned. Matter of fact, what's my word? Structured, focused, and positioned to provide that same level and more of grassroots news. So if it's happening in Bronzeville, Hyde Park, Kenwood, Woodlawn, South Shore, Roseland, Back in the Yards, Pilsen, come on, you name it. We can still provide those stories from people of color, and we're working on that even as we speak, and even before the announcement closing DNA Info. So we need to have that. Now listen, I mentioned earlier, right? Colonel West raised a very good issue that I saw, and I say this all the time because, one, you know, in my over 40 years in this movement, I have been on both sides of the leadership issue. I've been old breed, and then I've lived long. I started as new breed. Well, I started as no breed, then ended up as new breed. Then lived long enough to now be considered old breed. But I'm still here. I've been through it all. I've lived long enough to have been an outsider. I've lived long enough to have been an insider. I've lived long enough to pay my dues, and I've earned the right to be able at this point in my life to share. Is what my godmother, the late Reverend Willie Tappan Barrow, said, we're not so much divided as we are disconnected. And somebody has to be able to help bridge the gap. But here's what I saw, because I've had my share. I remember when Conrad World came, and we honored him as one of the elders who helped invest in me, right, at National Black Wall Street. And I remember, if I had the footage, in the footage somewhere, but I'm saying, but Conrad said, listen, Mark is a good guy and all that, but let me tell you the hell he caused coming up as a young activist, fighting, not because he hated the elders, he was just fighting to bridge the gap, which is the same thing I said. I don't dislike all the elders who represent the legacy of Harold Washington, but I have lived long enough and I've earned the right to be able to tell you how disappointed I am that year after year after year, whether you do it on purpose or not, and I know you don't do it on purpose, that's the devil just got you, but you just can't walk around and write people like myself out of history right? You can't walk around and grab 2 more generations down who were not there, probably weren't even born in 83 and 87. So you just can't bypass a whole legacy of those and write us out of history, because then it don't make sense. So we have to share these kind of things in love. It ain't no anti-nobody. It's about bring us together. But listen, here's what I saw. I can't read all of it, but I want y'all to see this. And I reposted on my sites on Black Wall Street, and I put the link up there for you to see and read. And again, I'm going to tell you something. Now, some of y'all who like to just gossip, because I know some of you do, you ain't trying to solve nothing. You just want to gossip. All right, so we're going to bypass that. Those of you that want to legitimately help bridge the gap when it comes to what happens, when the frustrations, and I've been there. So that's why I can look up and say, I can recognize these words. When Carl West had an article, we're going to read those called, unfortunately, old heads are killing progress. Old heads are killing progress. And so, as one who is uniquely qualified, right? So I'm an old head some days, still a young head some days, but at least I've lived long enough to be able to garner the trust of 2 generations to talk some things through. But you can't talk nothing through if you're talking at people and not to people, because our people deserve us to be connected together. And we ain't gonna solve nothing for the least of our people, keep beating each other down. But I listened, and I read some of these words that when Carl West says, these elders, he said it's disappointing to write some of these words, that he's had to assemble. And it comes down to that with all of the things that a lot of elders have done to help lift him up. I feel him, right? So I know what it means to have some elders lift you up, and then don't have you where you think you belong. And then sometimes you feel like there are obstacles to the very inheritance to leadership that they say they made you. Look, I remember one time in my office, there were some elders in our community who never would call me back. Well, Mark, you're not right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a press conference with all your awards you gave me, and I'm going to have a press conference ripping them down off my wall. Telling people that these awards you gave me about new leader, inheriting new leader, don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. You can't prepare somebody. You can't claim me and say you prepared me for new leadership without the arms to be able to fight the fight that you say I'm supposed to be able to fight. Oh, I didn't come to preach, but I can. But listen, here's what we have to do. We have to look at this dynamic of what it means, when elders consider the room and decide here's what's going to happen, and you go accept it, right? And so, and a lot of times you bridge this gap, because I'm telling you, sooner than later, you'll see me working with some of the elders of the Harold Washington Legacy Committee in terms of how to bridge the gap with the elders and young people. But that don't mean that I didn't have the right, as one of the young people who were the absolute voice. And people say, write a book. Why write a book about this, right? You get an extra with a book right now. I'll tell you what it felt like to be sometimes a young leader in the movement. And I was talking to James Anike, formerly James Brain, last night, about the fact of how do you write us out of history, right? It ain't like all the elders did it by themselves. Go back at the record and don't write us out of history. When young leaders like ourselves went and cashed in that's when college credit cards first started coming out. And we went and cashed in all our college visas and master charges when the elders said there wasn't no budget, So we went and cashed in our college credit cards, and we paid our own budget to travel across this city and travel across this state on behalf of the Harold Washington campaign. Don't act like that didn't exist. Don't act like some of us ain't still paying that debt today for what it meant to bring in thousands of young people across this city and across this state. Don't act like our work didn't exist, and then some of the elders sit back and then write our butts out of history. So I ain't mad. I'm just stating the fact. But you raise it and then you work it through. Don't act like it didn't happen, right? And so that's part of the book too. Because I sat back, I I remember the day when hundreds of young people in the Harold Washington campaign said, we ain't got nothing coming. What y'all mean? Well, Mark, did you see all the appointments the Harold Washington campaign just made? I'm like, no, I ain't seen nothing. Well, go look. Nobody that followed you in this campaign, we busted our butts, going into debt, traveled all over the city and this state to bring thousands of people to work on behalf of Harold Washington. And when Harold Washington finally appointed all of the people of his official mayor's youth committee, wasn't none of us on it. I saw the kids of those big donors. I saw the kids and the grandkids and the relatives of the bankers and those who funded the campaign who I don't remember did nothing. They didn't travel up and down this state. They went in and out the alley. They went into nightclubs. They went into bars. They went down in negotiating peace treaties in the street with the gang leaders. I don't remember them getting all the people involved, but yet, despite their lack of work in the streets, they sure got appointed to the suites. And people knew then the disconnect. But it's good to raise it. And then we bridge the gap on how we move forward. And so when you argue about what ain't there, some of us are still around to create a new narrative. And so we need to keep looking up and talking through. That's why Otis Monroe, Monroe Foundation, and the Field Foundation, that's why. In spite of DNA info shutting down, that's why. You don't have to keep going begging other people to recognize you when UBM has the independently owned vehicle to set up right now, right? So we can steal. That's what UBM means in this whole scope of DNA info shutting down. So we need you all to support the works that we are doing. And again, as the late Elder Webb Evans said, who died at 114, one of the things that he said was, he said, Mark, listen, elders represent the past and the present. Young people represent the present and the future. Somebody's got to be here to show that despite our differences between the elders and the youth, we both meet up at the present. And somebody's got to be able to raise the question and not just analyze it, but to help organize it. That's why we're glad about the fact. While some people, we be posting them, shaking my head, posting all of that, some of us, like the Monroe Foundation, have helped put together with UBM, right? And Black Star and Kids Off the Block and others who were there have helped put together the foundation for what it means to have our own people of color news narrative. What it means, not to talk about what's gone and too bad. How do we organize around it? And that's where we are now, and that's why we need your help right here to sustain the work that we're doing at National Black Wall Street Chicago and the collaborations that we're working on, because that's what it's all about. We got some other stuff coming up, and I'm going to tell you something else. And I'll come back. I ain't forgot. People asked me about Willie Wilson once again announcing that he's maybe running again for mayor, right? Cook County Democrats and George Carmen Raoul, right? And so, and again, at the end of the day, how do we organize? And that's what we're talking about. At the end of the day, after you get through analyzing all these subjects, how do you be structured, focused on position on how to organize? And that's where we are, because we are the leaders we've been looking for. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and you're tuned right here to the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and hear my voice right now, and a little bit more right after these on the UBM Radio TV Network.
One of the most important decisions Chicago teens will ever make just got a whole lot easier. Go.cps.edu is a new online platform that will stream the high school applications for Chicago public schools. If you are a rising 8th grader or know of any, tell them and their families to visit go.cps.edu to start learning about CPS high schools and subscribe to receive important announcements about the opening of the application system in August. This message is brought to you by Early Broadcast Media.
Thank y'all for listening. And watching and sharing. Thank you. I see you.
We honor the 2017 Peace Planners at the Met Jubilee Peace Planter Awards. Hosted by Sonia Blakey of Inspiration 1390 Radio and V103, with Grammy Awarded musical director Dr. Willetta Green Johnson, featuring Chicago's own multi-awarded recording artist, R&B songstress Doors open at 6 p.m. for a VIP reception. You don't want to miss this outstanding night of honoring those who have worked to plant peace in the city of Chicago. A lifetime achievement
What about the elders who turn around and decide?
Peace planter John Rogers of Ariel Capital Management. Be sure to join us on the spectacular night of awards.
QBM Radio, in conjunction with Metropolitan Apostolic Community Church, invites you to give to our efforts to help our neighbors in need in Puerto Rico, Florida, and Houston in the wake of the recent hurricanes. Bring your non-perishable items, clothing, and water donations to the Met, 4100 South King Drive, during normal business hours. If you wish to make financial donations, visit www.themet41.org. Click on the offerings drop-down menu and select others. Let us be our brother's keeper. Give now to relief efforts of the recent hurricanes. A message from the Met and QBM Radio. Let your voice be heard. Call the QBM Radio hotline at 312-754-4333. QBM Radio.
I'm looking. That's so much stuff I had piled up here. Anyway, but we're here, and we're back. This is veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and we're here on another edition of the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice right now, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Some people call it every day, but 1 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on this UBM radio and TV network. And we need you. Bless you, TV people. Good thing we're having the team work. When y'all see this on TV, we used to have to pay attention when we were just streaming live. But so much goes on now as we're growing and expanding. But listen, I want to say something that's going on this week. Listen, this Saturday, I want y'all to hear this, because a lot of times we do things on the south side and all, but there's a lot of things happening on the west side and the west side area. Listen, here's what's going on this Saturday in the village of Maywood. Now listen, it's part of Proviso Township. Now hear me now. The Village of Maywood and its trustees, along with the Monroe Foundation, are sponsoring a first-time home buyers workshop. The things that you should know about home ownership. It's about building your credit, how to protect it. It's about the pre-purchase programs and home ownership orientation. It's about how to retain your home ownership after you get it, and a whole lot more resources that are going to be happening. Plus, for those in attendance, we're going to have a free turkey giveaway, and those got to RSVP to attend for that, and refreshments will be served. But listen, the big workshop will be happening this Saturday, November 11th, at the Multi-Purpose Building, 200 South 5th Avenue in Maywood, Illinois. For more information, call the Cook County Home Ownership Center at 708-771-5801. 708-771-5801. We need people to RSVP in advance. I'm going to be posting this on all of our Black Wall Street sites. It's going to be on all of our UBM sites, but we need you as we expand these access to sources in the South Suburban area, and this is happening right now, keeping Proviso Township stable and strong. So that's the Village of Maywood, the mayor and his trustees, along with the Monroe Foundation, and they're going to be having a first-time home buyers workshop. The things you need to know before you finally buy the house. As this Saturday, November 11th, and the program begins promptly at 10 a.m. at the Maywood Multi-Purpose Building, 200 South 5th Avenue in Maywood, Illinois. 708-771-5801, 708-771-5801. We'll be talking more about that online and offline, but this is a must event for our people out there in Proviso Township. We need to make that a big event. So let me say this as we wind down on this last piece. When I see once again on the newswire, and people ask questions about Willie Wilson running for mayor, let me say something. When you have, and I know a lot of people, and that's another reason why we're trying to do this whole civic education piece again that we're working on right now, because a lot of people act like they're uneducated on what the numbers are. And you can recreate a lot of things. But that's what I'm saying. And I remember one time, Reverend Barrow said one time, I don't care if the black community ran Mickey Mouse. As long as the black community has the overwhelming majority of registered voters, you can elect Mickey Mouse if you wanted to. You're the only one who comes when you come around and we fought Mayor Sawyer, calling him Mayor Mumbles and all of that, then, but you didn't call Mayor Daley Mayor Mumbles, and he ran the city over 20 years. Then you come and talk about Willie Wilson, and got a stutter. Well, Honorable Elijah Muhammad stuttered too. And he ran a multi-billion-dollar industry on behalf of black people in the city. But I'm just trying to tell you, listen, when it comes to power, a lot of other ethnic groups who wanted access to power, they didn't run around saying we don't want access to Daley and his power because he mumbled. Only black people, Mayor Mumbles. And we ain't got over that today some years later. So Willie Wilson, who's a legitimate man in his own right, legitimate, mumble, whatever you call it, he's a multi-millionaire. When some of y'all speak the King's English and broke, like a lot of other folk. So y'all can talk about when it comes to power. Do you want somebody to sit at the helm that has the consciousness to help direct power? Or you say, I don't want the power if you don't have the kind of pronunciation that I like. But come on. So we need to start talking about that too. Because no matter who runs, somebody said Kurt's on. Well, Kurt ain't the one. All right, but then somebody said, if somebody else might run. But see, every time somebody says something and somebody else to say, that ain't the right thing. So as we got to start learning again, friends, how to be critical thinkers, how to analyze, and how to move from a position of power. So now, do you want to be like those other ethnic groups who said, I don't care if the former Mayor Daley mumbled and stumbled, I care about the power? Or you want to run around saying, Willie Wilson's a multi-millionaire, but if he don't speak the King's English, then we can't have him be the leader of the city. Well, you make up your mind. But at the end of the day, Rahm Emanuel won his election despite the multi-millions of dollars that the party spent, that his campaign spent. Almost everybody who was anybody in the Democratic Party endorsed his campaign, and here's what happens when you don't have your own black-owned and operated media to tell the story. Here's what happens. Here's what some of them told me. So now, as long as Rahm won, then you get sucked out by the old narrative and the manipulative narrative that says he got the overwhelming majority of the black vote. Well, hell, he got the overwhelming majority of the 20% that voted, right? You're right. He got the overwhelming majority of the 20% of black voters that voted. Almost 70% of the black and brown community in Chicago, despite the millions spent on Rahm's election, they didn't vote for nobody. And so the question now becomes, as you complain about what the mayor is or mayor ain't doing, at the end of the day, if over 500,000 black and brown voters sit your butt at home, complaining about what you ain't got, what Rahm is and ain't, and you keep letting the 20,000 people, you let the minority that vote outrule the majority who keep finding a way to sit their butts at home, then let it be. Some of us, at the end of the day, got to keep on working. So whether it's National Black Wall Street, whether it's the Monroe Foundation, some of us got to keep on working and doing these first-time home buyers. Some of us got to continue doing the consumer education and consumer action. Some of us got to continue with showing our people how to buy land and grow food and open up small businesses and access land and build our own housing again in our own community. And so some of us got to keep moving in that because, again, some people don't want to win. Some people just want to say they analyze. But when you analyze it, we're going to still be here trying to do the work with over $40 million that J.P. Morgan Chase has put up. We want to be the strategic planning center. We got to be here to strategically plan on how you access information regarding the $20 million that the city we fought for to be at Illinois Service Federal. The $6 or $7 million from Field Foundation. Somebody has to be at the table. You might not be able to march, right? But you can help those of us that want to organize. You might be upset because DNA Info shut down, but be a part of helping UBM and Urban Broadcast Media with our new Narratives of Color project. We can be a whole brand new, matter of fact, not just can be, but will be a brand new force for changing the narrative of people of color and how we keep telling the good news. If you think you're going to get a lot of good news told with DNA info in position, do you know how much neighborhood news will never be told? And all you hear is who got shot and who got killed, and all you hear about is all the pain. And you won't hear the untold stories in the black and brown community about all the power that we still have. Well, I didn't come to preach, but I can. But listen, so let's get ready to do that. And again, I'll start with this, and I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. My issue to sustain us will be tissue. And I'm going to say this once again. Do you know that you can sustain and grow the expenses of Natural Black Wall Street Chicago to keep us doing what we're doing if you just bought the toilet paper that you spend money on every day in your house, in your business, in your church, at your youth organization, whatever. You can do that right now if you order from us. If you bought black-owned and operated toothbrushes, black-owned and operated and manufactured hair care products, black-owned and operated, what's they call it? Paper towels and washing powder and dishwashing liquid. That represents billions of dollars. We got to keep organizing and not just analyzing. And so we're going to talk more and more about what's coming up this Saturday in Proviso Township. We need to fill that place because we've been serving and saving supporters, and a lot of people are losing their homes now because you got the wrong advice on how to obtain your house. You did the wrong paperwork on how to obtain your house, and now you're fighting on the back end. Well, let the Monroe Foundation and the Village of Maywood trustees and others show you on the front end with the right information on Saturday, November 11th on how to sustain your house on first-time home buyers. You got to be able to do that, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow because it's coming up this Saturday. We're going to talk more about how UBM and our narratives of color can fill the void, and part of that void of the untold positive stories that go on in and around the black and brown communities, right, that are going on every day. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear who got shot. You heard that beautiful story of Ashay Butler when she was here? You wouldn't have heard that most times. They call her to talk about who died. Talk about the negatives. We're here to talk about the positive. So we need you all to support what we're doing every day on the day. And we're going to talk more in depth about what's going on tomorrow on these and other subjects because we can. And we're glad about it. Right? The clock on the wall says it's on, y'all. As always in parting, remember to believe in God because God is love. Love is what the world needs right now. Remember in life, nothing is guaranteed but the end of it. We were born to die. But it's not that bad because in between birth and death, there's life. And it can be as positive as you want it to be, as long as you think positive. That means to keep a smile on your face and some warmth in your heart. When a friend is down that he needs you, you reach out and touch him, okay? And remember to always think positive, no matter how negative a situation may develop in your life. Remember that you are God's child. Yes, indeed, you are somebody. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can be whatever you want to be with the power of your own mind. If your mind can conceive it, and your heart can believe it, know within yourself you can achieve it. You got to believe in yourself first, and others will believe in you too. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Mark Allen. Hear my voice. Hear my voice. God willing, hear my voice.